we need to be careful not to make Bitcoin a meme. And I want people to remember what Bitcoin is, and Bitcoin is being your own bank. And so when I say Bitcoin, when you say Bitcoin, when I maybe we mean different things. I want still Bitcoin to be a tool for freedom.
Welcome back to another episode of Bitfinex Talks. I'm your host, Ricardo Martinez. Today, I am very, very happy to be joined by Roy Sheinfeld, who is the CEO and founder of Breez Wallet. Breez is an innovative Lightning wallet that has kind of pioneered many of the new features that many Lightning wallets have implemented since Breez pioneered the way. Roy, thank you for coming on the show. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, Ricardo.
Yeah, no, I'm super happy to have you on. For those that don't know, I tried to interview Roy a couple years back during the pandemic, and he came down with COVID. So I'm happy to hear that you're healthy, you've recovered, and that we could finally do the interview.
I stopped counting how many times I got COVID, so it's all good.
Well, I'm glad you're doing all right now. Roy, I guess the main topic I want to talk to you about is Breez. Breez is one of the best Lightning wallets, in my opinion. I've used it. I really like the podcasting 2.0 features. As you can see, I'm a podcaster, so I like what you guys have done with the wallet. How did you get inspired to launch Breez Wallet?
I started Breez early 2018 with a very clear vision in mind. Like, I wanted to help Bitcoin transform from being a store of value to a medium of exchange. I wanted people to use Bitcoin more as a currency and less as a digital gold. I don't know if you remember back in the days of 2017, like the hodl meme was super strong, and I kind of wanted to help Bitcoin be utilized more. And with the emergence of Lightning Network at the end of 2017, very early 2018, I saw an opportunity to come into the space and create an application that will ease the use of Bitcoin as a medium of exchange. And that's why I started working on Breez together with two other co-founders. And it's been a wild journey since. You're talking about the Breez wallet, but Breez also evolved from a wallet to a platform, basically, where every developer, every company, every application can integrate Bitcoin payments into their own solutions using the Breez infrastructure. So it's not just a wallet. The wallet is still available, and yes, as you said, it's a very popular wallet being used by many of the Bitcoiners. But it's also, we also have a wide range of solutions for developers and application creators. The reason we started, and now to answer your question, like the reason we created the Breez wallet is because nothing similar exists in the market previously to Breez. And we wanted to kind of help Bitcoin retain its value proposition while being used as a medium of exchange, meaning have a self-custodial solution, but a self-custodial solution that is easy to use even for regular, normal peoples and not like tech-savvy peoples. And that's why we created Breez, in order to help the technology improve and in order to interface quickly with the market to understand how people are actually using Lightning. And the podcasting 2.0 that you've mentioned was just another step in the journey where we kind of understood that we need to take Bitcoin to very verticalized use cases and not like keep Bitcoin as a generic wallet. I think podcasting 2.0 manifests this idea that we have in mind that Bitcoin needs to solve very specific problem and not just be a generic infrastructure. Yeah, I'll shut up right now.
No, that's a great answer. Thank you. I guess my next question would be like, why did you guys zero in on Lightning? Because you were one of the first Lightning wallets, I want to say, that came out. I mean, when Lightning was still considered very, very reckless, you
Yeah.
guys were already like working on an application to use Lightning. Why did you guys decide to focus on Lightning more so than, I guess, traditional use cases at the time, which were more focused on chain?
Yeah, great question. Again, the idea of helping Bitcoin become day-to-day currency, something that people can use everywhere. People can use to buy digital goods. People can use it physical stores. People can use for exchanging value over the internet. I think we realized early on that that can't happen on chain at scale.
Okay.
So building on the Lightning infrastructure kind of made sense because there's no option to implement Lightning payments or Bitcoin payments at scale on the actual chains. Like you need a layer two solution, and Lightning is a native Bitcoin layer two solution. So that's why we decided to go with Lightning. The idea was to onboard everyone to easily onboard everyone to Lightning. One of the notions that we brought to market is this concept of a Lightning service provider, like similarly to an ISP, an internet service provider, where you take your router at your home and you plug it to a socket and you're magically connected to the internet. We wanted to bring the same notion to the Lightning Network because Lightning is very complicated to interact with if you don't have an entity like an LSP. LSP is kind of a magical internet when you connect to an LSP, and Breez was the first wallet to feature an LSP solution. When you're connected to an LSP, the responsibility of onboarding the end users to Lightning is on the LSP, and it kind of lowers the barrier of entry from end users to join the Lightning Network.
Okay. I think that's another thing you guys kind of pioneered was the whole concept of an LSP, because we've seen several other wallets, Phoenix being one of them, Synonym being another, that have kind of implemented this LSP dynamic into their infrastructure as well. But you guys were the first, if
Yes,
yeah,
we
okay.
were the first, and we kind of we coined the term LSP, and many follow suit. Which is great. And LSP is kind of becoming a standard. It's practically a standard right now. Like there's a standard body, and there are synonym, as you mentioned, but others like people from C equals and people from Async Phoenix as well. Like we're all working on a shared Lightning service provider standard.
Okay. As someone who's been working with the Lightning Network very intimately, like since the beginning, pretty much, how have you seen the Lightning Network kind of grow over the years? Like, do you feel like it's been a resounding success?
Right. Like everyone has their own definition of success. I remember when I started working on Lightning, like every Lightning payment was practically a miracle. I remember myself in the Bitcoin conference in Berlin in 2019, where like there was a long line for people trying to buy beer using Lightning, and like 1 out of 10 or 20 payments went through. And we take it for granted now, but Lightning Network payments rarely fail at the moment. So yeah, I think it is a success. I think Lightning is becoming more and more mature. Lightning is becoming more clear in its role in the Bitcoin ecosystem. And I think we've kind of passed, like there was a 2-3 years phase of plebs trying to run Lightning nodes. And I think what we're seeing now is like a more professional network. Like the plebs are no longer like the plebs that are running nodes on their Android devices. Still, there are still some that exist, but it's not the majority of the network. The network right now is comprised of professional companies and professional node runners that manage their nodes, manage liquidity, and that contributes a lot to the success of being able to route payments. And so I think everyone that is in kind of day-to-day interaction with Lightning clearly sees the maturation and see the progress that Lightning has made. And what excites me to see is that Lightning is not just a payment network. It also becomes what I call the common language. It becomes the bridge between different networks. So if you see solutions like Arc, or you see solutions that are like Cashew or Fedi that are surfacing right now, Lightning is practically the interface of sub-networks. So there are different networks with different solutions to onboard end users, but they all speak Lightning. So Lightning becomes not only a payment network of itself, it also becomes an interoperable network where other solutions can plug into and interop with other Bitcoin solutions. And that is very exciting to see.
Yeah, I would agree. I want to get back to that topic in just a moment, but first I wanted to ask you about the Breez SDK. It seems like, as you mentioned, you guys are more than just a wallet now. Like, why did you guys decide to pivot into creating like the underlying infrastructure for Lightning applications?
Yeah, I'm not sure we pivoted. I think we kind of evolved to that.
Okay.
And the reason is very, might sound stupid, but we talked about the Breez Wallet, and we talked about how much we kind of contribute to the technical layer of the Lightning Network by doing LSPs, and we've done many stuff like Neutrino and optimizing Neutrino and creating zero confirmation channels. So we've done a lot on the technical layer, but nothing that we've did on the technical layer kind of added to our metrics. But whenever we've added a new interface to Breez, like the point of sale or the podcasting player or the marketplace that we have, we have a marketplace in Breez where you can interact with different Lightning services like LN Markets or and others, Bitrefill. And every time we've added an interface to Breez, we saw a spike in traction in terms of users, velocity, number of transactions, everything. And maybe it sounds stupid in retrospect, but we understood through this process is that applications are the key for adoption, meaning Bitcoin and Bitcoin payments needs to verticalize in order to answer specific problems of users. So we had two choices, basically. We could have kept implementing new interfaces into Breez and kind of evolve Breez as a super app. I had ideas on like doing Zooms with streaming sats and doing spaces with streaming. Like the options are really limitless. But the more I think a correct approach is to provide what we've built as Lightning expert and make it easy for developers and domain experts to bring Lightning into existing applications. I think we need to meet users where users already exist. Instead of trying to create a new network effect, why not bring Lightning to where users already spend their time? And so we had to pivot or evolve to be an infrastructure and an SDK in order kind of to solve that problem. It's a different problem than building an app.
Okay, yeah, that makes total sense. Back to the other Bitcoin layer 2 solutions that you mentioned in your response just a few moments ago. What other layer 2s are you interested in besides Lightning? Are there any that kind of have grabbed your attention?
I'm very bullish on Arc. I think Arc is super interesting, and I think the future is bright when it comes to solutions like Arc. basically being able to resolve the Lightning's inbound liquidity, but take kind of the same concept of an LSP, just evolve it to an ASP, an ARP service provider, which allow multiple users to share the same UTXO. I think it's very exciting. To be honest, I also like Cashew, but like Cashew isn't a Bitcoin solution. It's kind of an eCash solution. I think everyone that is implementing a custodial service should implement it on top of eCash and Cashew specifically. So yeah, I love what Kale is doing with Cashew and also Fedimint. And like if you accept the trust profile of a federation, I think Fedimint make a lot of sense, and I like I think what we're seeing like is a proliferation of different solutions that offer solution for different use cases, and Lightning is kind of becoming the glue of everything. So every solution that is kind of allows you to unitarily exit from the network, I like basically.
Okay, cool. Do you see Lightning as staying in a like peer-to-peer user payment network dynamic, or do you see it evolving more to like this kind of settlement layer that connects different solutions?
I think both will happen in parallel. I think the more value people find in Lightning, and being an interoperable layer is part of the Lightning network value. I think more people will onboard directly to Lightning. So I think we'll see both grow in parallel, and I think it's also a self-reassuring cycle, because once more people are onboarded to Lightning, the more sophisticated the Lightning solutions will become. And I'll explain what I'm trying to say. Currently, in order to onboard to Lightning using a solution like Breez, you're using an LSP. But every solution, every end user, no matter what the type of end user is, they all use the same LSP, meaning it's a generic LSP. And even if it's an enterprise, or if it's a merchant, or if it's a single end user that does one payment every couple of months, they all use the services of the same LSP. It's like, if you compare it to the fiat world, it's like all types of users, enterprises, merchants, end users, consumers using the same bank. And that doesn't work, because you need to offer different services to different users. There are retail banks and there are commercial banks. Banks are tailored to offer a specific financial solution per the customer profile. And I think as Lightning matures and Lightning solves specific issues, we'll see the verticalization of LSPs as well, and LSPs will become more sophisticated and will serve specific users, specific domains, and that will enable them to make more profit and become more economical. But we're not there yet. I think that these different solutions of Fedis, ARCs, they will help bring more users to Lightning, and then we'll be able to verticalize Lightning in parallel.
Okay, cool. And then another question I have is, as far as Lightning goes, we've heard of innovations that are coming to Lightning, things like just-in-time channels, channel factories, channels where the balance can be variable or exceed your channel balance. Are any of those things like very, very exciting to you? Like, what's most exciting to you that's coming to Lightning soon?
I think I'm still waiting for offline payments to be natively implemented in Lightning. I think that's one of the biggest challenges of Lightning. So this is something we're starting to see. Bolt Wealth is being part of many solutions. So we will implement Bolt Wealth soon in the Breez SDK, and I would like to see L&D support Bolt Wealth, and that's kind of the first infrastructure to support offline payments. So I really hope that offline payments will come and will work on PTLCs, which is the next generation of HTLCs. And that's one pillar. The second pillar is channel factories, because we need to be able to scale onboarding of end users, and the only way to scale that is by allowing multiple users to share the same HTLCs and to share the same UTXOs, and hopefully we'll have channel factories that accommodate that requirement. There's nothing specific right now, and there's no kind of solution that I see right now that will solve that. But think about something like Arc being used as a channel factory, meaning instead of opening a Lightning channel on top of a UTXO, you will open a Lightning channel on top of a VTXO. Then things becomes very interesting, and then we'll be able to onboard every Arc users to Lightning natively using this using Arc as like a meta channel factory.
Okay, and for things like that to take place, especially in the case of Arc, from what I understand, there's like covenants that need to be added via a soft fork. Are there any covenant proposals that you're favoring, like one over any of the others?
No, not really. I think we'll need, when you say covenant proposal, you mean opcodes, but there's no. I think opcode and covenant proposals are not. Meaning, I think we'll need multiple opcodes in order to be able to solve specific issues, or to have something that is robust enough. I'm leaning towards CTV. But I would like to see the discourse kind of shift from a specific opcode to a specific solution. Meaning, let's talk about a channel factory and then see if what opcodes are required in order to accommodate a specific solution. I'm more on the kind of conservative side, choosing an opcode that is more restrictive, less open, is more aligned with kind of what I'm thinking right now, but I'm constantly changing my mind as well. So,
okay, fair enough. Do you think that there's a likelihood that there will be a soft fork that kind of makes covenants possible on Bitcoin? We all know the challenges with like getting the community behind any sort of consensus agreement. Do you see that playing out, or do you think it's going to be like a long drawn out thing like we've seen in the past?
Which isn't bad necessarily. Like I think things that will happen when there naturally needs to happen. So yeah, I'm not in a hurry. I think building a robust financial alternative to the fiat infrastructure, it takes time, and we can't screw it up. As I said, I'm more on the conservative side, so I rather take the time than pushing something that will have bad consequences. So yeah, let's be cautious, and I think once maybe more people, new people, new leaders take place, the discourse will change. But I think I see what's happening now kind of positive. Like I like the discussion, and I like the fight. And so I think something good will happen from the fight, and the right solution will prevail. And it's good that there's a lot of criticism on the proposals that are on the table right now. But if you're asking me whether I think that a new opcode will make its way into Bitcoin, yes, I think the answer is yes. I think it will happen. It will just take time, and it's good that it will take time.
What can people expect from Breez in 2025?
They can expect many other solutions to use the Breez SDK in order to integrate Lightning payments into their own solutions. They can expect our SDK to become much more feature rich and much more easy to use from a developer standpoint. So I call out to all developers out there listening to this show. Come try the Breez SDK, give us feedback, and we are constantly improving. And our mission is to make the best developer experience in the world, the best developer experience, Lightning developer experience out there. So the only way to do it is by listening to our users. So use it, try it, give us feedback, and we're constantly improving. We're going to release a few exciting releases by the end of the year, and many more exciting releases in 2025. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. And then to kind of talk about something other than the SDK, you guys have kind of been trailblazers for new features in the wallet. Is there anything exciting coming to the wallet in 2025?
We will build a wallet on top of our SDK. So we're going to consolidate. Our wallet is kind of based on the old technology, which is basically running a full LND node on the mobile device. We don't have that on our SDK. The SDK is built on other advanced technologies. So we're going to release a new app that is built on top of our SDK, and that will make it much easier for us to iterate quickly on the user experience on the wallet itself.
And it'll kind of showcase the capabilities of your development kit as well.
Definitely.
Amazing. What are you most excited about in Bitcoin right now? I know we're at all-time highs. I know a lot of people think price is boring, but like what's the thing that you're most excited about in Bitcoin at this point in time?
Well, I'm excited. Yeah, to be honest, I'm excited to see Bitcoin kind of penetrating the mainstream. I'm happy to see it. I'm excited to see it. I think it's all good for Bitcoin, but I do want to kind of warn people about narratives, meaning we live in a meme world. Everything is a meme, and Bitcoin is also becoming a meme. So we need to be careful not to make Bitcoin a meme. And I want people to remember what Bitcoin is, and Bitcoin is being your own bank. And so when I say Bitcoin, when you say Bitcoin, when I maybe we mean different things. I want still Bitcoin to be a tool for freedom, and for personal freedom, and for your ability to take your value everywhere in the world, and to move your value to anywhere in the world without third parties or intermediaries. So with all the excitement of Bitcoin going mainstream, we need to make sure people understand that MicroStrategy isn't Bitcoin and ETFs aren't Bitcoin. Bitcoin is when you hold your Bitcoin and you have access to your key, and you can freely send your Bitcoins to another Bitcoin address. So with all the excitement, I don't want people to lose sight of what's the utility of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is freedom money.
Yeah, I would agree completely. I think that's very, very important to drive home as well. Roy, how can people follow you on social media? How can they download the Breez app if they're a developer? How can they start playing around with the SDK?
Breez.technology, that's your portal for everything. Breez without a E at the end, BREEZ.technology. Everything is linked from our website. I'm very easy to follow. I'm on Twitter, Roy_Breez. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Noster. I'm everywhere. So I'm very easy to find. So feel free to ping me everywhere, and feel free to start downloading the Breez app from the Google Play or the App Store, or use our SDK and start building solutions on top of it. I'm here to help.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Final question. This is just kind of impromptu. What are your thoughts on Nostr?
I like Nostr from a protocol standpoint. I don't think it's a Twitter killer or an X killer. I think it's a very powerful protocol when it comes to coordination. So similarly to Lightning, I think Lightning is an implementation detail of Bitcoin. I think like Nostr is not a client, is more of a protocol that is going to be embedded in other solutions. So doing CoinJoin with Nostr or building kind of coordination layers on top of Nostr, this is for me, like that's the most exciting thing about Nostr. And I think kind of the publish subscribe model of Nostr as a coordination layer is super powerful and super censorship resistant. And that's what I like about Nostr.
Well, Roy, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come on the show and share your views on Lightning, on Breez, and now on Nostr. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Ricardo.